You can ask this at work and the most important person in the room. In this video, Simon Sinek explains that great listening with hearing and empathy. Put your electronics away as a gesture of kindness and not just because they distract us.
So you say, I've met this person that I really like. How do I build trust? Well, you don't tell them all your secrets on the first day, right? We all know that you have to be vulnerable, but there's a timing, and it's a dance, and it's giving somebody a little extra responsibility and seeing how they do. And if they screw up, instead of yelling at them, be like, all right, try again. That we treat mistakes as learning opportunities rather than, and a mistake is only when you keep repeating the same error and you haven't learned anything. Where we practice empathy. You build trust with empathy as well. So empathy in business looks like this. Here's a traditional scenario. Somebody walks, picks up the phone or walks into their office when we did that, and says, your numbers are down for the third quarter in a row. We've had this conversation before, and if you don't pick up your numbers in the fourth quarter, I don't know what's going to happen. Right? That's pretty normal. Here's empathy injected into that scenario. Hey, your numbers are down for the third quarter in a row. We've had this conversation before. Are you okay? I'm worried about you. What's going on? Yeah. Right? Where it's about the person, not the performance. And so when, again, it goes back to that listening, and you are not listening until somebody else feels heard. Those things, seeing someone as human, understanding that we all have stresses and strains and egos and insecurities, and we bring all of that to work. And though we still have to be emotionally professional, you can't sit in a meeting like this because you're having a bad day. That's emotionally unprofessional. Though we still have to be emotionally professional, we're still human beings. And a good leader recognizes that. And by the way, somebody on a team recognizes that too. You don't have to be a position of authority to be a good leader, because those who may be higher in rank than us are also filled with insecurity and fear and stress and strain and ego and all that. And it's okay to go up the chain of command and say, hey, are you okay? You were really hard on us in that meeting today. Instead of labeling them an asshole, be like, are you okay? And by the way, and that's the dance. It's like any relationship. It's not expected for one person in an interpersonal relationship to do all the listening. It's a dance, and it goes backwards and forwards. And you meet empathy with empathy, and you meet listening with listening.
We all know that one can be vulnerable, but there is a timing to it. It's a dance, and it's giving someone a little extra responsibility and seeing how they do. And if they screw up, instead of yelling at them, be like, all right, try again. Simon explains that we treat mistakes as a learning opportunity. So when we say, I have met this person that I really like, then how do I build trust? Then try not to tell them all your secrets on the first day, just for sake of building trust. Trust takes time, but eventually you succeed. Building trust is like dancing. Taking one step, taking two steps back. Once you build it, you will start enjoying it.
Stalin said the death of one man is a tragedy and the death of a million is a statistic, right? So I'll tell you two stories, both are true. Right now, what we are witnessing in Europe is a horrible event of this war in Ukraine. And we see a proud people standing up to defend themselves against this oppressive regime that is invading their country unnecessarily. And the conservative estimates now are, I think the last one I read was about, 5,000 men and women killed, rising up against this despotic regime, right? That's a fact. Those are numbers. Now let me tell you another story. I have a friend named Cami who lives in San Clemente, California, and she was driving home from work one day, and as she turned the corner, she came upon a car accident that had just happened, where a 17-year-old driver had hit an 18-year-old pedestrian. And this 18-year-old girl was lying on the street, her leg at a 90-degree angle, unconscious, and the ambulances hadn't arrived yet. Cami pulled her car over got out and sat with the girl and just sat with her until the paramedics arrived. Eventually the paramedics arrived and took her away. And a few days later, she was curious what happened to that girl. She went online onto the blotter and found out that that 18-year-old girl had died. Okay, what made you feel more? Thousands of people who died standing up against a oppressive regime to defend their lifestyle and their democracy? Or one 18-year-old girl who got hit by a car in California? That's my point, which is when you tell a story about a specific person, you feel it way more than telling statistics of all the people you helped or all the homes you've sold. I don't care about how many homes you've sold or how many families you've helped. Tell me about the one you remember. You know, that's the one you tell. And when somebody says, "What can you do for me?" I've lived in this neighborhood for 30 years, and I have a greater knowledge of this neighborhood than anybody else, and I've sold more houses, and I'll get you the best deal. And then you get a cynical bastard like me who goes, "Your business model encourages you not to get me the best deal." I mean, that's the way I think. I apologize, because you want to keep the price up because that's what makes you more money. Like, I know, like, I get it, right? It's like therapists don't want to get you better because they get paid by the hour. If they did flat fee, we'd all be fine. But if you walk in and say, if somebody says, why should I do business with you, right? You'd be like, 3 years ago I met this family, the Joneses. Oh, what a wonderful couple. 2 kids, Lucy and George, and just the best. And you tell a story about what you got to know about them and what they were looking for and how you spent the time with them. And people will relate their experience to the Joneses, not to the 55 houses you've sold or the 30 years you've been in business, because I don't care. I just need one. And so the more you can tell a specific story, the more people can feel it.
We get the impression that nothing is more essential to great salespeople than us right now. Excellent teachers follow suit, wonderful pals as well. These folks make it easy for us to forget that they are just as busy and juggling as we are, that their day was terrible and their lunch break is already an hour late. They don't always set aside everything for us. They don't necessarily keep us in the center of their attention, even when they give us their undivided attention. Yet they conceal from us the truth that their work is challenging and that they have needs and desires that are bluntly incompatible with spending time with us or working for us, because they value us as individuals. They fully support us. Let's summarize the video with an example. What if you are just holding your phone while talking to someone else? It's not buzzing, it's not beeping. You are not checking it, you are just holding it. Do you feel like you are exactly the most important thing to the person you are talking right now? There is a deep-seated feeling that you are the most important thing to someone. The point is to put your phone away for that 10 minutes you are walking around a house and then go ahead. Learning someone's name quickly is easy, and calling them by their name and asking them how they make them feel seen and heard. This is artificial and you don't feel that special, right? It enhances your capacity for creativity. We know this wasn't the kind of house we're looking for, but based on what we previously discussed, believe you like this. Now you're not looking to sell them a house, instead you're looking to sell them a home, and while you know many of us use their terminology, we are not here to help you find a house, rather we are here to find you a home. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. For more videos like these, please subscribe.